Gas is cheaper than it's been since 1980. You might find that hard to believe, but it's actually true. You know, this whole thing in Iran, I know it's scary, and I know gas prices have gone up a lot. In some areas, I'm in the south, it's $4 a gallon. I don't know what it is in California. I'm sure it's 7 or 8 by now. Europe is really getting crushed with their gas prices because their tax on gas is really high. Ireland, I did a video yesterday about Ireland because there's so many protests over there and everything. It's 67% tax on their fuel over there. Petrol, they call it there, but gasoline. Same with diesel and everything. It doesn't matter. But I thought this was interesting. I came to the United States in 1980, so I went back. I did some math on this, and I did some research on it, and it's very, very simple, actually. In 1980, the price of a gallon of gas was 58 cents. Now, that's really, really cheap. Now, I had a Pontiac Catalina. That was my first car in the United States. Many people, I'd say most people back then, drove those big old gas-guzzling American cars, which I love, by the way. I love those cars. I still love them today. But the average miles per gallon back then was 8. So for 58 cents, you would get 8 miles a gallon. So that's like 7 cents or 7.5, maybe 8 cents per mile that you were paying. Now, if you fast forward to today, now I did the math at a gas price of, current gas price of $3.50 a gallon. I know it's higher than that right now, but the averages around here are between $3.50, $3.75. So I just threw in $3.50. You can do this yourself. You can do however you want. But so let's say it's $3.50 today. Now, the average car today gets about 35 miles to the gallon. Now, I know you can throw pickup trucks in there, they're less, blah, 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 blah. You could have done that back then also. So the math still, as they say, the math is mathing, no matter how you look at it. So rated, adjusted for inflation and all that type of stuff, the cost is actually about 10 cents per mile now. So what is that? 2 cents higher? So when you think about it, gas is actually really cheap. Now, I know you're watching this and you're a commuter or whatever and you're angry because it's costing you more money to go to work every day or to run your business every day. I get all that. But there are many, 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 many things that are way higher than they were back then, based on the numbers that I'm looking at. So I just want you to be mindful of that. It's like people, you'll often hear people say, houses are really expensive. Houses have always been expensive. Like, I don't know what a house was back then, but let's say it was 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, whatever it was. It was still hard to get your hands on 50 grand. And, at 58 cents a gallon, you weren't getting paid a lot back then either. So you always feel, no matter where you are in life, you always feel like you're behind the 8 ball. And yeah, things do seem to be going up. But I just thought that this was really interesting. Now, I chose this moment to do this video because currently I'm at a supercharging station. I'm charging up my Model Y Tesla. I've got to do a 2-hour trip. Now, when you compare the cost today, the cost of gasoline cars at 10 cents per mile, this car is about 4 cents per mile. Now, I'm not here to sell you an EV. You do what you want. But I'm just telling you right now that this car is a lot cheaper to run than your car if you're driving a gas vehicle. That's a big difference. That's over 50% less cost. And I know this myself. I mean, I drive a lot of miles. I have almost 30,000 miles on this car. and I've had it since August of 2025. So believe me, I do a lot of mileage. And on average, and I do charge at home mostly, and if you own an EV, you will be charging at home mostly also. But the average cost for me is about $100 a month. That's really, really inexpensive. So like I said, I'm not here to sell you EVs. Although if you want to buy an EV, there is a link in my description that will give you a discount on a Tesla. And anyway, I thought you might like this video. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And if you wouldn't mind, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.